So we were talking about your office, and you shared with me that you live in this new home and that you have your own office, but your office space, but your office feels dark and gloomy, and that your main struggle was to get into the zone to feel inspired and focused. Because right now you're feeling distracted and you just don't end up or you don't go in there, and sometimes you just end up doing nothing because your office doesn't support you or it just doesn't feel right. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say I do nothing. I find other places to take my work, which, at the moment I'm working behind me. I'm working in the sitting room because it's like lighter and warmer. I don't go in there to do my creative work, and I don't use it to do anything else other than client stuff. I tend to make excuses and go off to the library or to a coffee shop or something else to, do everything else in my business. And it's a
Yeah.
shame. I'd like to be able to have a really nice place where I, get up and look forward to going into every day.
Mm. So then one of the fears you mentioned was that you just end up spending lots of money on trying to make it feel and look nice, but then in the end it still doesn't feel right.
Yes.
That the office turns into a dumping place and it becomes more and more unloved. So these were kind of the things that you were
Mhm.
struggling with. And what you would like to see is that your place feels inspired, energized, and that you're just excited to see yourself working there.
I'm just going to add something else in here because
Mhm.
there is an element that I haven't mentioned, and that's that it is my crafting zone as well. So behind me, so I've got my desk on one side and my all my crafting stuff on the other side. And I did feel like there was this kind of, I wanted it to be a creative room, but I was conscious of the fact that it might be distracting me because it was pulling me in the direction of play rather than work. And I was like, I don't quite know the energy around like meshing the two of those together and whether I should be or shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And when I
Mm.
looked at the picture, and we'll get to that, I was wondering what the purpose of that room was, because at first I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it was your office or not. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, well, let's just take a look at it together. From what I remember, you shared with me that this house is built on metal beams, right?
So it's a
Sits up.
metal posts. Yeah. There is space underneath. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cool space underneath.
Mm, because I can feel that the house is not really grounded. It's not as grounded as a house with a different that's built in a different way. So we
Okay.
will we will see that when we look at the especially the first floor. Okay, so you have two levels. This is the first floor.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this was mainly a guest space, but you also use it
Yeah.
for your office, and I'm assuming your husband also has an
Yes.
office down there.
Yeah, my husband's office is more of like a little dark space. So we actually opened up where you see where it says desk at the end of the K. We opened up the wall there, so it's got sliding doors on it. But
Okay.
it's pretty dark as well and cold. It's
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah, well, the cold I can't fix for you,
No,
it's
no,
it's
no.
just the feeling of coziness and
Yes.
warmth and
Yeah.
um comfort, but the actual
Mhm.
temperature I cannot
No, no.
do anything about it, so it probably stay cold.
Yeah.
Um, but there's some elements that you can add to it too. First of all, if we shift the energy, it will feel
Mhm.
different, but then there's also some materials that you can use to make it feel more warm, like wood or
Mhm.
plants or crystals. Okay, so then this is the upper level, the second floor, right?
Yeah.
So you got the master bedroom, then you got your living room here with
Mhm.
the dining table, the kitchen, you got a beautiful deck out here.
Mhm.
And then you have two bedrooms for your boys. Let's look at the energy flow a little bit. Um, just from the way it's built, just to give you an idea. So let's start with the bottom. So here's the garage. and here's the outside deck.
Yes.
So this is the main entrance, I'm assuming, to the downstairs area, right?
So
And
there's two ways of getting in.
so this way or that way?
Yes,
Mm-hmm. And this goes to the upstairs, correct?
that's correct. Yes, correct.
Okay, okay. All right. So, when we know that energy flows like water, water will always, or energy will always, look for the easiest way to get in, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's a natural flow of energy around the house and it wants to go somewhere. And
Yeah.
the more nature there is, the more powerful, or the, let's say, the higher vibration, the more it nurtures
Hmm.
you, right? If you just have
Hmm.
streets and concrete, that
Hmm.
has a lot less energy. So you have your deck and nature out here. This
Yes.
is the garage. So um there's also an like, where's the entry? This is here, right? On the side of the house?
The side entrance. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And these are windows?
No, those are the garage doors.
Garage doors. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some energy coming into the garage from here,
Hmm.
but not a lot. Even whether the doors are open or closed, it doesn't make that much of a
Yeah.
difference. Of course, there's more coming in when they're open, but then it
Hmm.
kind of like goes, swishes through here, and then maybe a little bit goes out that way. Some collects in the corner here. You just have to imagine it flowing like water. But but,
Hmm.
but you can imagine that very little is going to come into this little entrance here, right?
Hmm.
So then it flows to here. A little bit goes here, and by the time it gets here, it's drizzled out.
Yeah.
So that means it doesn't reach this area or nourish this area. But what happens is the main energy intake, just from the way it's built, is over here.
Hmm.
So this is your nearest connection to the outside. So this is where the
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
comes in.
Hmm.
And so probably that's why, and I'm not sure if it does or not, but the family room is a little bit more, has a little bit more energy to it
Yeah, it definitely
than,
does. I like being there. Yeah.
yeah, that's probably why you prefer that room over, like, this one has the least energy.
Hmm.
Um,
And that's good because that's a bedroom, so it's kind of calm, I
yeah.
suppose. Is that correct? Or is that like not the great energy?
Mhm.
I tell you what, that bathroom is terrible because there's no windows at all. That's just like, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
great energy in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I mean, all rooms should have a certain amount of life energy. Um,
Mhm.
if it's too low, it just doesn't give you like a good night's rest because you can't recharge.
Okay.
What happens is that energy balance has a natural way to balance itself out. So if somebody with high energy, or like we all have a certain amount of life energy, sleep in a
Hmm.
dead area, then we wake up the
Hmm.
next morning and feel depleted.
Hmm. Okay.
You may know this feeling from going into like shopping centers or things like that.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
good example.
It's a very strange house. It's very complicated.
Yeah, it's true. Energetically, I must say it's a challenge. Though just the way it is, if I were to work with it, there's a way to make that work. But just for you living in it, it's a little
Hmm.
bit more challenging than living in a different kind of house. So essentially, what you can get from this is that because of the way the energy flows, this is going to feel most comfortable. And
Hmm.
your husband, I don't know, probably doesn't feel very restful being in his office. I don't know if
Hmm.
he can focus very well, because what happens is the energy flows in here and then kind of flows back out this
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
So, and if you're sitting in the middle of that,
Yeah.
it's not, I don't know where his desk is, but the best place would be over here, just
Yeah.
from the end,
It's just,
either
yeah,
here
that's
or
right.
there.
It's right. Yeah, that's where it is, where the H is and
Yeah.
husband. Yeah.
That's almost where you have to go with that
Yeah.
room being like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then let's look at the upstairs. Not even sure how much energy comes in through this. It's funny because the arrow is here, but I'm not sure that the energy actually comes in through there. So let's see. For me, this where I see the most energy intake, the highest chi level, is this room and that room, or like just
Yeah.
this part here,
Hmm.
because it comes in through the windows. Yeah. This is also a long hallway.
It's very long. Yeah.
So I mean, the good thing here is you get the energy in through the windows into these rooms, but there is not much coming in to this room. It's just a quick overview. I don't want to stay too long on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
When I do the work, I really know where's the energy come. I have to you would have to walk me through it a little bit more, and I would have to look at the outside of the house to see what's
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
on there. And then I would redirect the energy flow so that, we actually do have the intake here, and then some energy flows through here, and it nourishes these rooms, and then we make sure it doesn't speed through here too fast, but also flows in the bathroom and in here. And then I would probably close this off a little bit and from the energy flow so that it doesn't shoot right out the back, coming in, but it collects a little bit more in here, and it's more comfortable to sit here. And then
Hmm.
so yeah, that's the
Oh.
part of harmonizing the energy flow through the building. Okay, so I'm going to pull up your office space. We got two pictures. That's one side, and this is your creative corner. Okay, so the door's over here, right? And then this is your
Yeah.
window, and then this is the
Hmm.
other side of it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that the way this house was built,
Hmm.
with the metal beams and just the materials they use, already lends itself to a lower energy level, because wood and brick and those things, they're all
Hmm.
natural materials, so they naturally nurture you more, so when I look at this, it feels really cold because the materials that have been used to build this with are cold materials, so they don't put off that life-giving energy,
Hmm.
like other materials would. I like your picture here with the fish. That's almost like abundance feng shui picture.
Yes. Oh, good.
Okay, so first thing that I'm seeing is your desk. You said you got this is a salvaged you said this is a salvaged piece, so that needs to be cleansed energetically, because there is
Okay.
some heaviness to this, and some just old sticky
Well, it used to be an old man's. So
yes.
we bought a house in England, and it used to belong to an old man. He used to store all his tools and everything in it, and he was lovely. He was very sweet. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's got that kind
Yeah.
of like old man energy in it, and it hasn't
Yeah.
got the like
Yeah.
hipster
Yeah.
groovy creative energy.
Yes. You really need that to feel lighter and uplifting, because that is not your energy and it doesn't inspire you. So,
Mhm.
when you sit there, you're always dealing with somebody else's energy. You may not be you're not aware of it, but it's like
Mhm.
it doesn't lend itself to you expanding in your own energy, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel like I'm standing in my space as I own a business.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stuff I've packed
Yeah.
together. The
Yeah.
Frankenstein desk. That's what it is, a Frankenstein desk. It just needs some love, doesn't it? It needs some love. No, there's not much sunlight. The windows are dirty. It's just, I've kind of given up with it. It's really hard to clean. You'd need to get a pressure washer because there's a grill. You can see there's a security grill on the outside of it, and you can't, unless I took that off, you can't clean the windows properly. So from the
Okay.
outside, it's really hard to clean.
So that's step number 2, clean the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the window was clean, would there be enough sunlight to set a plant in here? Do you like plants?
I love plants. We've tried many, many different plants inside, and none of them really like the shadiness of the rooms. So
Mm,
I would love to have a massive big plant there. That would be great. So I used to have my sewing table there, but I've because the kids came and we took it out, I've just kind of left it out to see how it
mm-hmm,
felt. But I'd really like, and I'd like to get your view on this really. I'd like to have that side to be my sewing area and the other side to be my study area. Because that's
mm-hmm.
what I used to have.
Yeah,
And then it doesn't leave much room for plants, then that's the only thing.
that's true. The only thing is, it's like energy-wise, it's really like you say, it's like you're over here, but you really want to be over here, and it's like these two different things. So it is important for us to define our spaces and
Mm-hmm.
to define what do we put the emphasis on in this room, and then arrange or set up the room accordingly.
Yeah.
So, what is your main purpose for this room?
I think as I grow my business, probably to have it as a really nice business space that I feel comfortable recording in, and having my client calls in somewhere that looks nice in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that part of being purposeful with the stuff you have in there, like to ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, does this really belong here? And does
Mm-hmm.
this serve a purpose here? How does this support me with my business? Because the
Yeah.
purpose of this room is to grow your business. If it inspires your creativity, it's good. But the way it is set up now, I think it's more like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, I need to do more sewing.
I miss
So,
sewing. Yeah.
so it looks more like a chore than, you know, put it up like something light where you feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to come to this. This is easy. It's not like all my projects sitting there waiting for me. That's all work, you know? You want that to be
Mm-hmm.
inspiring.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, I do need to pay more attention to that. And I've actually just noticed since we've been talking, so that the top box on top of the wardrobe, there's like a box right at the top. And that is filled with these bags that I had made as part of an old business that didn't take off. I so need to get rid of that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is bad energy.
Yeah. Give them away. Make people
Well,
happy with
that was
them.
my plan. Yeah, I was gonna, they're
Yeah.
kind of like little gift bag sized, eco-friendly gift baggy things. So I was like, people can have them as party bags. That'd be great.
Yeah. Or even to your clients now, you just send them a bag. Yeah.
Cool. Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's sum it up again, just so with the three things to focus on.
Mhm.
Do you remember?
Yeah, so I've got first one is switch up the desk a bit, maybe put a glass top on
Uh-huh.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Clean the windows. Get rid of the wardrobe, move
Mm-hmm.
things around a bit so it feels more
Mm-hmm.
spacious and a pleasant place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lovely. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
It's good to see you soon all over the internet.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.